M. Fletcher Brown, another artist video blog at kicks96country.com. Our guest comes to us all the way from Southington, Ohio, by way of Nashville, Tennessee. Please welcome Jackson Delaney to kicks96country.com. Jackson, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming down here. Now, as I understand it, Jackson, you were originally a baseball player.
I was, yeah.
You were a baseball pitcher. You actually headed to the pros.
I was, I started playing when I was 4, just a little kid, you know, and spent my whole life working towards being a professional baseball player, and I was actually on the way to doing that. 17 years old, I had scouts and everybody looking at me, and then unfortunately I got hit by the injury bug. I had some problems with my elbow. I had that Tommy John surgery on my elbow, and a couple shoulder surgeries for torn rotator cuff, and so that kind of derailed my dreams, you know.
So how old were you about that time?
I was
17, 18?
I was 17 when I hurt my elbow, and then about 20 years old when I had my last shoulder surgery, trying to come back and play. And
doctors just said there was probably no way you were ever going to be full strength.
Yeah. Just, I mean, it's like picking a scab. You know, every time you hurt it, it gets a little bit weaker, and it just doesn't hold up. So, you know, we eventually called it quits. You know,
but now you were no stranger to music, though, before you moved to Nashville. So talk to us about your early roots in music.
Well, my dad always played, and he wrote songs and sang in bands and stuff when I was growing up, and always played the old records on the record player, Waylon, Johnny Merle, all that stuff. And then he was a big Brooks and Dunn fan when they came out. He's got every CD they've ever made, and so I listened to all that stuff, and I picked a guitar up when I was 16, just because I wanted to learn to play. You know, I never had any intentions of singing or anything like that. I just wanted to play the guitar, and he showed me some stuff on there, and then when my baseball career kind of was over, I was looking for something to fill that void, you know, because when you're on the mound and you're in the zone and you play at a high level, there's a feeling you get, and it's hard to explain to people that have never felt it before, but it's just a rush, you know, when you're in your element and you're doing your thing and everything's right, and unfortunately for me, regular work, regular jobs didn't do that for me. So you know, I picked up a guitar, started playing songs, and the first time I stepped on stage in front of a crowd that was really into it, and it was electric, man, and the hair on my arm stood up, and
you just knew that was what you're gonna do.
That was it, man.
So 2008, you left Ohio and moved to Nashville.
I did, yeah, June of 2008.
All right, so what was the first experience you come to Nashville? It's like you walk in town, your very first day in town, you got a guitar in your hand. What did you say, I've got to do? Where do you have to go? I mean, you've come off of playing baseball. That's what you've done most of your life, you know, since you were 4, and now you've decided to shift gears and become a musician. So how did you make that leap? I mean,
well, you know, actually, my situation's I think it's kind of unique. I had come down here a few times just to check the place out before I made the move, and I sat in with some bands on Broadway down there in Nashville, and the one bartender that was working one night told me, you know, she said, "You're pretty good, you know, you could probably play here. Why don't you bring a CD in?" So I brought a CD in and got it to the manager of the club, and he liked what he heard. So I told him I was moving down in a couple of months, and he said, "Well, I'm making some changes." So I kind of walked right into a gig.
So was that the second fiddle?
That's the second fiddle, yeah.
You had a standing gig like at the second fiddle every week.
And it's a very unique situation because I get asked all the time, how do you get a gig down there? And it's very hard to get a gig down there. I just, you know, I was blessed. You know, I walked right into one just at the perfect time and got it. So yeah, you know, I play every week down there, second fiddle right beside Tootsie's on Broadway.
Well, obviously your style is very impressive. From one CD, you're new in town, they say, here, standing gig at our establishment. Your music, your sound has been compared to everybody from Waylon Jennings to Jamie Johnson. It's like, did you expect that level of comparison right away?
No. I didn't have any expectations. I mean, you know, like I said, I never envisioned a career in music, you know, until I was maybe 22 years old. So I hear all these comparisons, and people tell me, "Man, you sound like a young Waylon Jennings," or "Man, you sound like Jamie Johnson," all this stuff. And I very much appreciate that. I'm actually a little freaked out by it because it's like,
yeah, because your Jamie Johnson might like show up,
right? You know, let me see this guy. Let me see this new kid in town that everybody says sounds like me. But it's high praise, and I really appreciate it. You know, but it's weird for me because I'm just me, and just, you know, I can't see myself through other people's eyes, you know.
All right, well then let's talk a little bit about your music, your songwriting, because you say your dad wrote music, and you grew up listening to a lot of his music. So your songwriting style, you write most of your own music, correct?
I write some. The CD I have coming out has only got one on there that I've written.
Oh, okay.
But that's because the other 5 that are on there are just monster hits. I mean, they're written by guys that, Dave Gibson wrote on there. He's got 6 #1 hits.
Yes, we know Dave. We know Dave well.
Gary Hannon, he wrote on 3 of the songs. Phil O'Donnell, Eddie Montgomery.
Phil Billy.
Chris Wallen, all these guys are just monster writers.
Absolutely. So Chris Wallen's from just right around here.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not tap that resource?
Absolutely.
You'd be a fool not to.
So you've made friends with some pretty decent songwriters in Nashville, right?
Gary Hannon is a friend of mine. He also produced the project, and we've become good friends. And he's a hit writer, and he knows all the he's in the inner circle when it comes to that stuff. And he's a great guy, so he knows everybody. So that's a huge blessing for me. He's a great help. I mean, all he's got to do is make a phone call, and we can have songs to listen to put on a project, and we can sit down and write. We actually sat down and wrote the track "You Make Me Wanna" on the CD. We wrote that in about an hour and a half one morning. We wrote it and cut it the same day. We were actually going to go in and cut another song that day, and we wrote that one and cut it the same day. But it's amazing writing with guys like that. It's easy, man.
Well, let's talk about "Shotgun Wedding." That's the single, "Shotgun Wedding."
That's the single, yeah.
Which one does that belong to?
That's an Eddie Montgomery, Phil O'Donnell, and Gary Hannon song.
Okay, talk to us about the song. What's it about?
It's kind of funny. I mean, it's a really rocking sound, up tempo, loud guitars. That's the Eddie Montgomery influence in there. And but it's the story it tells is a story that I find it's kind of funny to listen to it. But if you're in the situation, it's not so funny. It's a guy and a girl that they have a little bit too much fun, and she ends up pregnant, and then. So we
all have a story like that.
Yeah, So he's sweating it out, man. Do I marry her or do I run? Because if I marry her, then I got to be a man. I got to get responsible. But if I run,
I better run fast.
You got that right, because her dad is pretty sure that he ought to marry that girl, and if he runs, he better be pretty quick, because he better be able to outrun some buckshot, because he's gonna take it the hard way if he doesn't, man. So it's a great song. It really gets you moving, and it makes you laugh.
Does it have a music video out yet? Have you done
no video out yet?
All right. I understand you have like a four-legged buddy that you keep with you sometimes.
Yeah, man.
We looking to see him or her making any appearances in videos or anything coming up?
That's Amos, man. He's my little buddy. He's a little 11-pound Chihuahua, and he's awesome.
Who doesn't like a Chihuahua?
Who doesn't like?
You're not American if you don't like a Chihuahua. I love a Chihuahua. I got a Shih Tzu myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, man, I've got pictures of him all over my website, which is jacksondelaney.com, by the way. Pictures of him all over there. My Facebook page has pictures of him up there, and I've actually got a song on the record, "Ugly, Lucky, and Me," which is about a guy, a girl, and a dog. And I would love to shoot a video for that song and have Amos be the dog in the video, because the chorus is about having sunglasses, cheap sunglasses, and Mardi Gras beads on. So I'd love to put him in some sunglasses and some Mardi Gras beads and put him out there. I think that'd be great.
Oh, man. All right, so we start with jacksondelaney.com. The album's not complete yet. You're still working on it.
Well, it's actually finished, but it's not going to release till April 9th.
Okay, so April 9th is release date, but we're going to be available like CD Baby, iTunes, and
everything. And actually, you can log on to the website right now, jacksondelaney.com, and pre-order it for $5 off. And you actually get a free download of the single "Shotgun Wedding" as well, up until April 9th.
All right. So if you want to hear the single "Shotgun Wedding," you make sure you call us at Kicks 96. We will happily play it for you. And what about social media? We got a lot of fans out there who like to tweet and Facebook. Do you got all those?
I've got all that stuff. Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, everything.
All right.
If it's out there, I got it.
Well, tell you what, we're going to go ahead and close this one out. You make sure you look for Jackson Delaney's live performance of his single "Shotgun Wedding" right here at kicks96country.com. Jackson, we appreciate you coming down and spending some time with us.
Thank you, Fletch. Appreciate it, buddy.
And you make sure you come back and visit us, okay?
I will.
And make sure you bring Amos with you next time.
All right.
And I'll bring Spartacus. Yes, I have a little Shih Tzu named Spartacus.
That's awesome.
You can't judge me. I'll call my dog when I want to.
That is awesome.
All right. We'll see you next time when you come and visit. And we'll see you next time, another artist video blog right here at kicks96country.com.